Hello and welcome back to another Reaconteur video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the various stereotypes encompassing your drip or outfits in Deepwoken and their various accessories. I'm currently live on Twitch playing the modded Deepwoken SMP server, so come drop into that after this video, and also I'm doing a drinking challenge while playing it, so bad idea. Anyway, let's just get straight into it. If you use the Maharaga wheel, you are a no-go clone. You probably use that one spiky Roblox hair, you wear all black and dark gray, and you're probably a Vesperian, or you have like the fake accessory for the primal Vesperian horns. Everyone uses the same thing when they're using the Maharaga wheel. Alternatively, you could be doing a Maharaga cosplay, but most of the time the people who wear this only wear it as a like, haha, I adapt during combat sort of thing, and they're usually no-go clones. It's boring, overused, and I hate seeing it, which is why it's banned in my drip submissions. There are a few people who use Prophet's Cloak, so let's go in order. First of all, any build that's more Mantra than M1 reliant will usually have it, but they don't always show it. So most of the time someone wearing a non-transmogrified Prophet's Cloak just wears it because they care enough to change it. Like me personally, I wear it, but I only wear it because I don't play the game enough to get accessories, and I don't really want to. The next person using Prophet's Cloak is the guy running almost full Vanta black drip to the point where you can't even discern the shapes on their body. Like everything is completely the darkest black you have ever seen. Like they absorb light, except for like that little silver crest on the armor. This guy is lame. Alright, it's not drip, it's just bad. The last guy running Prophet's Cloak is the one who dyed it to match the rest of their stuff, except Prophet's Cloak doesn't dye well since the silver crest in the middle always dyes off-colored, so usually this is someone trying to make a good outfit who doesn't understand color coordination well, or they just don't know how to transmogrify armor. The Traveler's Cloak is worn by the worst type of people in all of Deepwoken. First of all, mages. For some reason, every mage has Transmog Traveler's Cloak, and it's just atrocious drip. I don't get why you guys do this. It is some of the worst drip in the game. It doesn't look good. It's not even like ironically bad enough to stand out. It's just straight trash, and every build carried mage in North America runs it, while they also continue to run in a circle while spamming their favorite mantras. If you're wearing the Royal Pathfinder in 2025, there is no way in hell you're not on a 600-year-old Azure Flames Shattered Katana build, because who runs this anymore? And if you transmogrified it, that better be funny ironic, because you're supposed to be like mimicking the old meta builds. Like really, I've seen it like twice recently, and I don't know if it's starting to come back or what, but like, let's not bring the Royal Pathfinder back. Not now or ever. Freshie. The only people who wear the Sharko coats are freshies who just got out of farming Sharko Cave at like power 11. Nobody wears these unless they have to because the stats on them are some garbage and they don't even really look good. I guess I've seen maybe one or two outfits that manage to somehow make it work, but even then I feel like you could sub out for any other better coat and it will probably look better. If you wear the primal Vesperian horns, like the fake ones in Roblox, you are one of two people. One, the most annoying person in the entirety of the Etrian Luminant, only tied by the people who also use this thing. And two, the least original person in all of history. 90% of the time, the people who run these are S-tier metamancers who like their drip, also love to copy builds, making the best ones possible whenever they can. Any slight nerf, regardless of how bad it is, it can be like a 0.1% damage reduction on the strongest mantra in the game, and they will immediately catapult onto the next better meta because they can't possibly function without the strongest build in the entire game all the time. It's actually insane how hard these people metamance. For the Iron Singer Heavy Plate, this could really be anyone. This is one of the best or like the second best piece of armor in the game, along with the Diver Light Plate. So anyone wearing either of those two is either a big PvE player who farmed for a really good God Rule one, or you're a PvP player who traded for a really good one. Now, if you don't have it transmogrified or equipped, then you're probably still one of those two people, but you don't care about how your character looks because this thing is damn ugly. And if you actually wear it around, you have zero self-respect unless you're making like a really specific cosplay build like the guy around who made the mini Pekka drip from Clash Royale. Now, the thing about the Iron Singer Heavy Plate though is it's usually more used by PvP players, because if you're using this over the Bastions of Enmity and haven't farmed for that yet, you're probably just not doing much PvE. Next up is the Bastions of Enmity, which yeah, you're an active PvE player. If you're already wearing this, it means you've already got a really good one, better than any Iron Singer or Diver Light Plate that you were using before, and with how long those existed, the only way you're going to be replacing one of those, which you probably had a god roll on, with one of these, is if you also got a god roll on this. So you're probably one of two people. The rare PvE player who actually has competent friends, which is unlikely because every time I played this game with friends, they all sucked, or you're the PvE player who spams looking for groups so you can find people good enough to do enmity with until you can get everything that you want from it. There's two types of anime hair combos that we have. Girl anime hair, where you have these 16-year-old Sigma edit funk enjoying boys who really think their Vanta Black drip is, and I quote, tough with 2 Fs ASF, and then the same thing, but they run anime girl hair because they make all their character slots women. Then there's the actual women who kind of like run the anime girl hair because that's all that really exists on Roblox. But if you see them running anime boy hair, they're either cloning a YouTuber's drip or they're, you know, using one of those stupid little haircuts that covers your entire face, and then they just run Vanta Black drip or like black and white, just really boring stuff. And they're always one of those e-boys who likes to sleep in Discord calls with like 14-year-old Asian girls who they met on Valorant or something like that. That's just something I've always noticed. They also usually play Valorant or League of Legends. I don't know why. Weird pattern, I know. This is really specific, but if you wear the Authority Commander coat, you're like a drip elitist. You swear it's the best coat in the world, like everyone who wears it does. You think it's the absolute greatest thing that they've ever added to this game. Like, it's insane. Here's, like, a true story, right? Some guy came into my DMs asking for me to privately rank his drip off stream because he didn't want his, by the way, mid blue and black outfit to be stolen. And then I said, no, because I'm not ranking your drip on my time. I only rank it on the Google form for the streams, right? So don't DM me your drip, by the way. I'm not going to rank it unless I'm in a really good mood. Right, so after I said that, which I was being polite about it, he decided to be an asshole, and then he deleted the messages to hide his outfits from me. If that guy's watching this video, your boring drip is like a 4 out of 10. You don't need to worry about deleting your message. Nobody's stealing that garbage. Also, the shade of blue you used is trash. Find a better one. Find a better blue than that Oxford Midnight Navy Cambridge blue trash. If you wear literally any of the hoods, you probably just run single color boring outfits. Like, I've never seen someone using any hood and then not matching their entire outfit to that one color. It's always usually like black and edgy and boring, or white and edgy and boring, or black and white, and then the hood is just whatever the more dominating color is. The hood is rarely a good addition. If you wear any Kabuto, your drip is horrendous. Half the time they're going for that overly bulky samurai shogun look that just doesn't work at all, and the other half it's a freshie stringing random bullshit together because it had health on it. Regardless, it's straight trash, but at least the freshie's not doing it on purpose. The Dark Owl Chapeau is exclusively worn by women. If your character isn't a woman and you're wearing the Dark Owl Chapeau, you need to be executed painfully because you're probably a mage running Alchemist. For the rest of you, you're probably going for some sort of witchy look or like, I don't know, owl girl look, and you're usually pretty chill. Until you're not, at which there's a 50-50 chance of an Asian girl on the internet calling me a slur in a voice channel. If you're using the martial artist armor, you're first of all running a super annoying build. Nobody is running this armor without playing like the most annoying person you could ever meet in Chime. Half of them are just Karita, and the other half are like, I don't know, some other fist type or this stupid Silent Heart thing. As for drip, it's usually pretty bad. Sometimes it's Silent Heart minimalistic garbage where they just have the glowing rune marks. The other type of drip people run with this is surprisingly common, but it is just the Scroom costume. This usually just isn't good for drip. I would never recommend the martial artist robes ever. It can work, but you guys never do anything original enough for it to work. I personally love how the Darkened Bastion armor looks, but regardless, if you're using the Darkened Bastion armor, you hate Shadow users. Like, you really hate Shadow users and Crypt Blade and all of the annoying Shadow mantras. This armor's entire stat tray just counters Element and then adds an extra 20% resistance to Shadow, so if you're actually using it, then you just really don't like Shadow users. Which is understandable because it's probably the most annoyingest human in the game. For those of you transmogging it, you're probably running some sort of armored knight build. Usually the people wearing this for the drip are pretty chill and know what they're doing and can throw a pretty good outfit together. Anyone wearing the Windrunner robes is absolutely doing the exact same copy and paste angel drip. Literally everyone who wears this goes for an all white, maybe like white and yellow, white and blue angel looking build with Chrysid or something else with wings. It's always the exact same, and it's always extremely boring. If you ever see someone who is bald or has bacon hair, log from the server. Bald players are always exploiters, and they're always about 3 seconds away from back attaching to you and killing you faster than you can process or clip it. There's not a single bald player in the world who's legit except for the one who misclicked on the barber. Black Diver is for people who prefer the attunement resistances that Black Diver has over Ignition Deep Delver. So generally anyone running Black Diver probably just doesn't like Shadow or Lightning / Thundercall users. If you're using Ignition Deep Delver, you would probably just go Black Diver, but you're probably running a 0 willpower build, so you go Ignition Deep Delver instead. Or maybe you really like the Force Your Way talent for when you absolutely need to parry something, because as far as PvE goes, dodging isn't always an option when most of the PvE trials like Diluvian and Hell Mode are just enemy spam, so sometimes you'll try and parry and get hit by something that you're supposed to dodge, and you can't really go through both. So Force Your Way is actually pretty useful for PvE players, so if you see someone using Ignition Deep Delver over Black Diver, they're probably a PvE player, or they really hate Iron Sing users. Star Boots are used by the people who find them in Orisia and have kept them ever since. Alternatively, if you're using Star Boots and you dyed them some bullshit like neon green and submit the worst strip I've ever seen onto any of my Google forums, just a troll. The only time Star Boots work is with full sets of plated armor, and it is rarely if ever done properly. If you use Whaler Initiate armor, you are loser void walking trash. You probably ran straight to Trial of 1 to spec all of your points into weapon stats so you could be power 6 void walking with a crypt blade or some shit. Your builds aren't good, and usually void walkers are pretty bad, but the good ones are just as annoying. All I know is that if I see you wearing this weapon, you are one of the worst people to ever grace this planet. Sorry to all you Vesperian players, but I kinda had to write an entire section for the drip revolving around this race. If you're a Vesperian, you are a lost cause as far as drip goes. I'm so sorry. It is some of the worst drip potential out of any race in the entire game, and I'm sorry you decided to sacrifice drip for stats, because Deepwoken is more fun when you're playing Dress to Impress than actual Deepwoken. If you use the Investigator's hat or anything similar like the Gumshoe hat or something like that, you're probably pretty cool. Usually people running these have some sort of detective or cowboy drip going on, and it's always at least decent, and they use more original colors like brown or maybe like darker greens for an earthier look. You guys do good. If you are using literally any mask in the game, I know your drip is about to be terrible. I could take a look at your drip, you could cut off everything but the head, and if I see a mask, I know it's awful, alright? None of them work ever. They hide the face, which is a big key area for color coordination with the eyes and skin and other potential accessories that can come with races and stuff. As a whole, masks never work, but they're often used in boring single-colored builds, which this is also part of the reason why Vesperian just has way less strip potential, as I mentioned earlier, because they have a built-in mask. Go Ganymede. If you use rings and they don't match your build properly, fuck you. Not much of a stereotype for the Champion's Monastery robes, since it's so big most of the time when you wear it, like, you look the same as everyone else wearing it. The equip region on it takes up, like, all the space on your character, and some people dye it, but it's usually pretty similar regardless, and most people dye it, like, the same 2 or 3 colors, so it's kinda just boring. If you're using the Simmerbloom Diadem, you're obviously also running the Pleatski's Inferno. But one thing I find about people who really like the Pleatski's Inferno and use the Simmerbloom Diadem is that they really like blunt damage. Like, they've been using blunt damage for as long as they've known, and if they've been playing for long enough, they've probably been using blunt damage since it used to be technically better than, like, sharp cutting damage because of the way resistances used to work and the way armor would calculate them. Now, this is funny because they all swear by blunt damage, and they all exclusively use blunt damage weapons, but then half of them switched over to, like, the Pyre Fire Keeper, right? And then they just have, like, a Pleatski's Inferno build that they barely use anymore, which is, like, little bit hypocritical that you're going to call blunt damage the best in the game, and then just not use it 90% of the time. I'm really only putting this in the video because if I don't, I'm gonna get a million comments saying, what about the Bloodforged Crown? I use the Bloodforged Crown. Literally everyone uses the Bloodforged Crown. That's why I don't want to cover it. There is no like encompassing stereotype about it. It's easy to get because it's from Chaser. Chaser's an easy boss. You could kill him on a PvP build. You could go run layer 2 on any given build, and as long as you know how to fight Chaser, you can beat him and you can get a Bloodforged crown. It's like the best headgear in the game, so everyone runs it, and it's not even like through a hard boss or like something you would need a PvE kit or build for. So I'm only including this in here to say there is no stereotype around it, because literally everybody uses this except for people who are specifically using the Simmerbloom diadem on flame builds. And that is all I will be covering here. If I missed any broad encompassing stereotypes, let me know in the comments down below. Big shoutouts to Brick, Goobka, Pickle, Drizzy Drake Fan, and new YouTube member Bacon. I don't know why so many of my YouTube members are named some bullshit. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll be streaming the Deepwoken SMP server for a bit, so drop into that on Twitch. I love you all, and goodbye.